tutorial, I'm going to show you how to install Malwarebytes anti-malware. And a professional computer company, this is one of the programs we like to use a lot to remove malware, spyware, and fake virus alerts. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our Internet Explorer, and we're going to go to malwarebytes.org, and that's malwarebytes.org. Once we're on that site, we're going to left click on Download Now, and that's going to bring us to a third-party download site. Some of you may see the exact same screen I'm seeing, some of you may see a different screen. All you have to do is just locate the download link or a download button for the file. And in our case here, it's right here. We'll hit that. And some of you might get a security warning up here that we're trying to download a file, wants to know if we really want to do that. We're going to left click on that bar and do a download file. And that's going to go ahead and bring up our download box, and we want to run this file. And it's going to go ahead and download here. Now once it's downloaded, we're going to click Run, and some of you may or may not see the screen. If you don't worry about it. If you do, go ahead and click Run. And we want to click on Yes. Now Windows 7 and Windows Vista users, you're most likely going to see this screen here. The Windows XP users, you're not going to see this, but click Yes. And now we're at our install. And we're going to go ahead and hit OK for English. We're going to click on Next and accept the terms and agreement and hit Next again. And Next, and that's where we want to install it to, the program files area, just the default spot, and that's okay. So hit Next, and since I've already installed this before, it's saying that exists. You want me to write over it, hit Yes. You guys won't see that screen if you've never installed it before. And what this is showing is what we want to name that as, and I always just leave it as the default name, Malwarebytes anti-malware, and we'll hit Next. And right here it's asking us if we want to create a desktop icon or a quick launch icon, and in my case I just want to do a desktop icon, which is going to put it right out here in our desktop. The quick launch icon will also add it down here into this bottom left area, and I just want to do the desktop icon. The screen just shows us all the settings we've chosen, and we're going to go ahead and hit Install. And once it's done installing, we get a screen here that wants to know if we want to update it or if we want to launch it. And we want to go ahead and do both. So leave both those with a check mark in it, hit Finish. And what it does now is it's going to connect to the server, and it's going to download the latest version of Malwarebytes. And after it gets done downloading, it'll go ahead and install it. And there, now it's telling us that it was successfully updated from version 6705 to the current version. So hit OK. And now Malwarebytes is going to open, and if you see on our desktop, here's our icon to go ahead and click that and open it up. Now once you open up Malwarebytes, you're always going to get to a screen that looks just like this. And the first thing you always want to do when you run Malwarebytes is go to Update and do a check for updates. And in our case, since we just installed it, there are no updates, so we'll go ahead and hit OK. And we'll go back to Scanner. And I always recommend running the full scan. The difference between the full and the quick scan runs a scan of files that are more prone to malware and spyware. The full scan runs a check on all files and folders, and it does take a little bit longer. Quick scan 15-20 minutes. For full scan could take an hour and a half, but it usually finds more items than the quick scan does. So select full scan, hit Scan, and select your hard drive, and in my case it's the C drive, so I got a check mark there, and we'll hit Scan. Now as this goes through, it's going to tell you how many objects it's scanned so far and how many objects it's found that are infected. If that number is anything but 0, it'll be in red to show you how many items are infected. Now for this video now, I'm just going to go ahead and abort the scan. You would let it run all the way through. But once it finishes its scan, you're going to get a notepad file that looks identical to this, except inside here it's going to show you how many items it found infected. And in our case, since I aborted it, 0. Some of you may have 0 as well. If there's nothing on your system, it'll show 0. You go ahead and close out of that notepad file, and you're going to have a box right here, and in this one it says no malicious items were detected. And in that case, I would just hit OK, close out, and I'd be done. If it says that there were malicious items detected, it'll give you directions right here on the bottom. It'll say, please click show results to view the results. So you hit OK, and this main menu button, instead of saying main menu, it'll say show results. So you'll click on that, it'll bring up a list, and along the left hand side it'll have little check marks, and make sure everything is check marked that it found. And then over here this will say remove selected items, and you'll click on that. It'll remove all of the infections. It might even ask you to restart. In that case, you just hit OK. Malwarebytes will restart your computer, and you'll be back up and running. Now, we recommend running Malwarebytes once a week, and we do have the free version right now. There is a paid version you can get, and the paid version is, the only difference is you can have it run on a scheduled time. So if you want to run Malwarebytes every week, but you're not always going to remember to run it, then you're going to want to go with the paid version, and then you can actually tell it, yes, I want to run it once a week, once a day, have it automatically update. It'll do everything for you. You don't have to consciously remember to run that once a week. And that's where most of the problem we see with our customers when they come in is they have Malwarebytes in their system, but they haven't run it in a month, 2 months, 3 months, and it doesn't do you any good unless you're running it about once every week so you can constantly check your system. So that's the difference between the paid version and the full version. If you're going to remember to run it all the time, the free version is going to work just fine. And that's going to do it for our Malwarebytes tutorial. Please stay tuned to our Professional Computer Company YouTube page for more tutorials.